You might be wondering, how can I land on my first remote opportunity? I had never ever imagined working remotely, at least not 5 years ago. While at university, remote work wasn't something that was on my radar. Of course, because I had never ever seen someone working remotely, at least on my end. I expected that just after university, I would end up the same traditional way, the same career that everyone else takes on. However, opportunity exists where we least notice it. Um, when COVID-19 happened, it changed everything. Companies adopted remote work. Employers became more open to hiring across locations. And there is a secret in Africa. Employers prefer, this is just my thinking, it might be valid or it may not be. Employers prefer Africans because we somehow sort can offer some slightly cheaper labor, not because we are cheap. Of course, some of you might term it like that, but because think about it, Africa has very low living standards, and a good amount of money that could be paid to someone in the US might be double the money that an employer would pay you. So they would rather go for someone who would offer the same service but working remotely, and they're actually paying you a very good amount of money, but slightly lower than that of other locations across the world. So there are really new global opportunities that are emerging year in and year out in the remote workspace. If this is something that you're actually thinking about, I would highly and highly advise you to continue thinking about, because it's a very good opportunity. And in my later videos, I'll be sharing with you the other advantages of working remotely, because I've been working remotely for the past 5 years and I have enjoyed the benefits of working remotely. Okay, so how did I land on my first remote work? My first remote work was an internship. It was during COVID. You know, when they had locked everywhere, there was no movement literally. I didn't have a job. And I believe a lot of other young people were like, okay, then what's next? What do I do? But on my end, I had to navigate life because I had to survive, I had to survive. So I ended up frequently being on different job websites. And this helped me to locate which websites actually give very good jobs. So I updated my profile on LinkedIn. I did certain things just to fine tune myself for those remote opportunities. And one thing I definitely did is I followed organizations that were putting those remote opportunities out there. That's definitely something that you want to do. First, identify those organizations that are giving out remote roles. Now, after you've identified them, you may not know when that remote opportunity will be open. I could say you can even wait for a job 2 years, and that's okay if that's something that you really, really want to do. So don't be on a rush, but be patient. As opportunities come out, read about the website, and the more you go through their process, I would tell you, two of my remote job opportunities that I have worked on, I applied for them like 3 years ago. I was not chosen. Someone else was chosen, then later left the organization. Then I joined. But because I was interested in working with these organizations, I gave it a shot. I was patient. I learned more about them. I continued learning more and more about them. So prepare your CV, prepare your applications, prepare for the interview. And we have an organization called LeadPath. If you're interested in it, guiding you through all this, that helps you so much, so that by the time this remote opportunity is somewhere around the corner, you're the first person, first of all, to know that it exists. And secondly, you're just the right fit for that opportunity because you're well prepared. At LeadPath, we help young people figure out how they can tap into the global space